Hello and welcome back. So we've given the ceiling overnight to dry it out, and it has completely dried out again. So we've skim coated 2 coats now. On the first coat we went from west to east, and on the second coat we went from north to south here. So that's 2 full coats of the EasySand, and it's not done yet. The second coat definitely helps fill in a lot of the valleys and stuff like that, but it does need another coat. Now, one thing here we want to address is the corners now, but before we can get to that, I just want to come back over here to see how this looks here. And you remember from the last video here, I used a curved trowel to lay a lot of mud in this area here, not completely way out here, just in this area here, because there was that huge gap there, and you can see how much it has filled in. Now, I didn't really get the mud all the way back in here, and I hope that the camera cannot see that, and there's a bunch of fish eyes around it too that we're going to have to fill in. And then you can see this area right here where we just left that area. We're going to have to address that. So I'm just going to scrape away any of the high spots, but nothing is really going to come off here. So we just have to fill that in with more mud here. Now, and we can come down to the corners over here, and you can see that there's fish eyes and there's some lines here. And then if the camera can come over here, you can see where my trowel stopped here. When I went from north to south, there is an edge there. So we're gonna have to put more mud along this area here to fill that in there, okay? Now, one way to not get that is to skim closer to the crown with the trowel here. Okay, so, and then we're going to come over here in the corner. Now there's always going to be like areas like this in the corner here where, I hope that the camera cannot see that, like right up here. And again, that's from the trowel not coming close enough to the crown when we went north to south, because on the first 2 coats, or the first coat, I just brought the trowel right up against it there. And so we've, on all 2 coats, I brought the trowel like right up to it. So what's gonna happen is you may have some areas where the lines are coming at you, like right over here in the corner here. The lines come away from the crown or at you, okay? So we're gonna fix that now by just addressing the corners with my taping knife here. So whenever you have an area where the lines are coming right back at you, the way to skim those out is not to go against it or perpendicular to it, is to go with it, and that's gonna fill in those voids like so. But all the other areas that don't have those lines, you can just skim across, okay? And by skimming across, it's going to fill in any of the low spots that were incurred from when I just brought the trowel out like that. So now we're going to go in the opposite direction. Okay, so put this down here, and I have some more of the EasySand that I just mixed up here. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to load up the mud either like right there, or you can put it in the middle here. Like so. Okay, so when we come over here, I'm gonna fill in that void first. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of mud in the middle of it and work it in there and really press in so it gets into the back of that hole and then skim tight. I'll load up again in the middle. Okay, now there's still like a little bit of a void there, so I'm actually going to skim onto the crown and then use my finger to wipe that off there. And then clean the blade and come out and skim hard. So when you put the camera up there now, we had just filled in all of those voids there. Okay? And now we're gonna come to this area here where I just showed you where there's more mud here than here, because when we went north to south, I stopped my trowel an inch away from the crown here, so we have to fill in those areas there. So what I'm gonna do is, whatever way that you wanna work, I'm gonna work from my right to left here. So I wanna effectively load up the right hand side of this taping knife with mud here. So what I'm going to do is a technique where I come into the pie or come into the circle and do a left angle there. Okay, I'm going to come into it and then go left. And what that's going to do is it's going to effectively load up the right hand portion of the taping knife here. So then I'm just going to put this here and skim down like that. I'm gonna load up more. Okay. Come into it here. Now, if you get a little bit on the crown, it's no big deal because we will do a cleaning wipe. Okay, so the mud is all on there. It doesn't look too up and pretty, but we're gonna make it look good now. So I'm gonna clean off my taping knife here, and I'm gonna do a cleaning swipe onto the crown here, and I'm gonna try to get rid of a lot of that mud there. And since that's not gonna work, I'm just gonna come into it and come like that to get rid of the mud that's on the crown there. Okay. Now I'm gonna taper off this left-hand side of the mud there, because you can see that there's an edge there, so I'm going to apply the pressure on the right-hand side of this here. And that's what comes off there. And then I'm just going to effectively do a swipe down. Okay, so as you can see there, that's perfectly smooth. I tapered off the edge, we cleaned off the crown. Okay. So that's going to take care of the corners there. Now I'm coming into the corner, so I actually want to load up this side of it. So instead of doing a left angle, I'm going to do a right angle outward. That's going to load up there. Now if the mud is sticking over the side of the blade here, just come into it like that, and that's going to get rid of that. Now I'm going to come here and put it into the corner and swipe down. Okay, again, we're gonna clean off the crown, and I'm gonna taper off this side here with the right hand side, or I'm gonna clean this up a little bit there. So now I'm gonna taper off this side here. That tapers that off, and then I'm gonna work it in there and come back into what I did right there, because if I came into it like there, then I would mess up the mud that I had just previously done. So that's why you always want to come back into your work there. So that takes care of that. Now I'm just going to go around the room now and do that to all the corners here. But before we do that, we want to come over here into the corner here and address that issue with the corner. Now you're always going to have some issues in the corner, so that's why you always have to go back and treat the corners and the edges with a little bit more attention. So I'll skim it like that, and I'll come into it. Okay, so I'm gonna clean off the knife and work it into the corner and come out. Now I'm not quite too sure if you've seen it, but I have lines now that are going this way. So to account for that, I'm gonna load up a little bit of mud there, come into it and skim out. Come into it and skim out. Okay? Now when I look at it, I don't see those lines. Okay? So I'm just gonna go around the room doing this to the entire perimeter of the room, but I still have some up here, and there's that area here where there's all the divots. So with this coat, when I do the edges, I also want to go around and fill in any areas that have huge dents in them, and I want to do that before I do the final skim, which is the next skim, because we really want to level out the surface here as best as possible, so that when we do the final skim is going to fill in everything and make everything smooth. Okay, so that took care of that. There's something right here, so I'm just going to skim in. And when you put the mud on, see how there's an edge there? Just clean off your knife and really press hard. And that's going to take away any of the edges, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So you don't have to sand that down. You don't really have to sand that. If you do sand it, just give it like a little swipe, and that's it. You're not constantly trying to sand your guts out there. I'm going to come over here. There's an impression or a dent there. That's going to take care of that there. There's some marks here. We have a few gouges here. There's a line here that is incurred from going south to north here. So it goes that way. So I'm going to put the mud on like that and then come across it like that. And as you can see where it's darker there, you can see how it filled in that impression there. Line here. Okay. So before you do like your final skim, make sure to go around and fill in any areas that are really, or any areas where there's a hard edge. Because when you do your final skim, if there's a hard edge or a thick edge, the final skim won't necessarily make that smooth. You have to do like 2 coats of it. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to hit all the corners, and then we'll be back to apply the final skim. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.